Actually, this is how you should practice. So if it is started with 1, otherwise you won't get the
Yeah.
right? If it is started with 1 and just run it, it will print numbers from 1 to 10. So that is the first way. Okay, the second way that you can do, you start with some other number, and practice, run it. Then it will print numbers from 5 to 10. Okay, then change the step, I plus 2, and then 1. Run it again. Then it will go 2 by 2. Yeah, 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. Then change the starting position to 2 and try to get even numbers. So then it will go 2, 4, 5, yes, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, right? Then
Yeah.
what else you can do? You can start with 10 and you can say go until 1 greater than or equal to, yes, while greater than or equal to 1 you have to do. Then go like I equal I minus 1. Then it will go from 10 to 1, right? Then go 2 by 2 minus 2, 2 by 2, right? Then try to go for odd numbers. Let's start from 9 and go 2 by 2. Then it will go like the other way, right? Then try to do something like this. Try to print instead of I, try to print something else. Let's print asterisk. Then run it. Then what will happen? So it will print asterisks, 5 asterisks. But let's do something like this. And end equal. Let's say okay. Let's print asterisk into I. Asterisk multiplied by I times. Then you can see, okay, here.
Oh.
9 asterisks, 7 asterisks, 5 asterisks. Right? So this is how you have to practice. This is how you have to practice. No other,
Right.
right? No other way to learn. So change it until you see, find the concept. Okay, let's go forward again. Let's start from 1 and less than or equal to 10. Let's go forward. Then I equal I plus 1, 1 by 1 forward, and print asterisk multiplied by I. Then it will print 1 asterisk, 2 asterisk, 3 asterisk. So here, whatever the number that you tell, it will multiply the particular asterisk and display. So likewise, you have to practice. Are you doing this?
Oh.
Or you just write the code? That's
Oh.
all.
I'll just write the code.
Yeah, that's right. I think that's the reason where you struggle, because you are not trying the similar type of questions that you can get. You have to change this.
Yeah.
You have to change this, change. It is unlimited, so I can't do all these things, right? It's unlimited. So
Yeah.
it's unlimited means, so let's say if you print I into I, what will happen? So it will print the square numbers.
Yeah.
That is unlimited, right? That is unlimited. So I can't tell this is the limit of while loop. So I can give you, yes, while loop, you start and you print or do something and then step in. Start, condition, step in. That is the concept. But within that concept can be applied like 1,000 times to do 1,000 various things.
Yeah.
Right? So what if
Yes.
someone, yes, what if someone do something like this? What if someone like say x equal input, okay, use something like this, x equal input or int input, and if there's a dot, and if someone say okay, dot equal dot plus x, so then what will happen? Initially total equals 0, but whatever the input that you are going to get, so you are going to add it to x, that will be repeated 10 times. So this is another application. See, single application can be applied many times. Okay, then it will ask for an input. Let me give a number, 23. Again input 40, some number, Likewise, it will input 10 numbers.
Mm.
And okay, if you ask what is the total now, it will print what is the total. That is this variable. Oh, finally you can print the total. Right? Finally, you can print the total. That will also do the same thing. So, do you think that I can finish the syllabus?
Right.
Right? It is not really possible. It's not really possible to do all these things and tell okay, these are the this is one application, this is the second app. You can't even write like this. How to write a note like this? Right? Then the other way that you can print from one by one. After getting the total, you can print the total. Then it is printing cumulative total. Means okay, first you add, first you give an input, right? Then it will say 34, 45. Then it will take the total of 34 and 45. Give another number, total of all three. Give another number, total of all four. Likewise, it's cumulatively printing the total at this one, at this one, at okay. Final total is this. So that is Q2. Inside the loop, you have printing total. Then what will happen? It will cumulatively print that. Right?
Mm.
But if it is outside
Yeah.
the loop, what will happen? So, but you have to practice this. Without practicing, no way to understand. But can you do
Yeah.
this alone? Not now. Can you do this along by looking at the videos? Can you apply the same?
Yeah.
Do changes. Always do changes. Maybe challenge. So you can challenge yourself. If you don't have friends, you can challenge yourself.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's say let's how to use this loop to print this one. How do you use this loop to okay. So let's say you don't the file now you have studied file reading and file writing. So what you can do with that? File reading and file writing. You can say I equal 1. Okay. Let's say file equal open. Let's open a file called let's open a file called so let's say file is abcdef.html, and while this one I'm not going to input, I'm going to write like this. And so let's say okay, this is HTML file and I'm going to write my text is let's say HTML file begin with HTML, then the head section, uh, then the title section, then some title, maybe Python, then closing of the title section. Okay, you can write nicely, right? It's after HTML, new line, then a tab, then the head section, then a new line, then another tab, title, and the title is Python. Then go to new line, and again a tab to print the head section. Right, print the head section. Okay, then making what's happening? HTML, after HTML, new line, after that tab, something
Yeah.
like this, right? HTML, after that new line, next line, tab, head section. So this is the output. Then new line, ilang line again, tab here, /t, tab dekak, 2 tabs. Then the head section, then the title section. Then after the title, you have this title as Python. So imagine what's going to happen, right? Imagine what's going to happen. Then a new line. New line means go to next line. And new line after that, one tab, and closing of head section. Just assume what's going to happen now. You can tell me the output even before I run the code. New line and tab. New line and tab and the head section. Then new line, tab, body section. Then what will happen? So it will open new line and
Line.
tab
One tab. Body.
body section. And inside that, I'm going to have another new line, tab, new line, as a new line and tab. Then let's have a table, two tabs, double tabs. I'm going to have a table border equal 1, and let's say width equal 400. Okay, let's do like this, a new line. This is my text. This is lengthier now, but let me write down here. After that, what will happen? After body section. After body section, yes. After body section, new line, tab, tab, new line, tab, tab. Then,
Tab.
then after double tab, you have this line. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to construct a HTML page using Python. So I'm going to open a file called abcdef.html, and I'm going to write to that file using W mode for writing the file. Then this one. Then I'm going to write f.write this text. I'm going to write the text to this. Then while loop, while starting from I equal 1 and I less than 10 times. What I'm going to do, f.write, I'm going to write again. Okay. New line is already there, right? Okay, new line, tab, triple tabs, then table row open, table data open, let's say 1, table data close, table data open, 2, table data close. Okay, that's enough. Table row close. Then how many rows I'm going to write? Because 10 times this will run 1 to 10 till 10. 10 times it's going to write 10 rows. And after writing 10 rows, I don't need this code now. After writing 10 rows, I'm going to close this. F.write, I'm going to close the, okay, new line, after each one, I should have a new line, right? After finishing enter, then it will print like this. Okay, let me demonstrate what will happen. It will print like this, like 10 times. And after 10 times, what I'm going to do, finish the new line, tab, finish table. After table, go to new line, again new line, single tab, close the body section. Then go to new line, close the, without tabs, close the HTML. So this is HTML file. But so same loop, ne? That's why I'm telling. So I can't, this is infinite, right? Eka loop ekakin, you can do infinite activities using a single loop. So how can I teach all these activities? What you have to do? You have to practice, right? Apply this, try to do new things, and show me. After doing this, please send it to me. So I did this. So I generated a table, dynamic table. I have colored the table. Okay, let's generate this first. Then f dot close the files. Close the file because it will save the file. Okay, this is not needed now. You know what's going to happen. So let's write the file and let me run the file. So after running the file, okay, done. Let me go to the documents. In the documents, now I can HTML file here. This one. Okay, let's go get modified, and here abcdef.html. abcdef.html. Let's open that with text editor like brackets. So this is the text. Okay, now you can see, okay, HTML. You can see nice web page. Neat, no, because I have used new lines, tabs, neat web page. But here, this code is ugly, right? This code is not neat. This is ugly, but if that ugly code has generated nice web page. Understood? right? So this is HTML file. So I don't want to open
Yeah.
the, what I can do, double click.
Yes.
After double clicking, I can see the table. Understood?
Yes.
Okay, so I'll give this code because I think this is somewhat new. We have not discussed this thing last day, but I'll just give this code. But that doesn't mean you have to practice this code, right? එහෙම කියලා ඔයා මේ
Yeah.
code ගහලා බලන්න එපා. So you can do it now. Maybe now you can practice that code, but not always. So tomorrow you can change this code and practice. Maybe you can do like this. Okay, if not, if this I is odd, odd even the how to find whether the number is odd or even? I divide by 2 modulus 2 equal to 0. Then it is odd or even. After
Even.
modulus, the remainder is 0. බෙදුවට පස්සේ ඉතිරිය බිඳුව නම් what is that? Odd or even?
Even.
Even. So for even, I'm going to write this one. If it is even, f dot right, okay. TR, I'm going to say BGCOLOR equal, within quotation, I'm going to say red, green, blue. That is for even. Okay, else. Else means it is, if not even, that is odd. For odd, I'm going to write this one. F dot right, BG color, I'm going to change the color. I'll cut the color and paste it here. Now you have applied inside while if else also. If it is even one color, odd one color, then save it. Okay, save. After saving, you have to run the file, right? Save, run the file, run the file. Okay, finish, refresh. You can see odd rows in one color, even rows in one color. Understood? If you see the code in, yeah, this is the code. View page shows. This is the code. Now it has interchanged the odd and even rows. Okay, if you want to change the numbering of this, you can apply instead of 1, you can say just terminate this and add str I here. I means the number. Let's do the same to this one. Let's do the same to this one. Oh, sorry. Str number. I am going to add, and after that a dash. Let's save this and run this. So this part you have to do. You have to develop this one by one. You have to do this here. Then 1.1, 2.1, 3.14. Likewise, I will be printed in the table.
Yeah.
Right? So this has no limits, right? You can do anything. If you want, you can print I into I. Then what will happen? I multiplied by I. Then it will be 1, 4. You know now what will happen, right? So if you run this, it will print square numbers. Sankhya. I into I means 1 into 1, 2 into 2, 3 into 3. You can process. You can print. There is no limit, right? So don't stick to my code, because this you won't get the same question in the exam. I'm pretty sure that you will not get the same question in the exam. Right? So forget about my code, but what you have to do is, after writing and practicing my code, what you have to do, you have to change the code and practice this again. At least change that 10 times, minimum 10 times. If you can do 100 times, better. සිය පාරක් වෙනස් කරන්න පුළුවන් නම් better, but at least do 10 times. Okay, so now you can just copy the code and maybe try it. So since I have not given this previously, I'll give you a chance to copy or write the code and try. Okay, quickly do this.
Okay, sir.
Right, let's move to the new one. That is in the 14th. Basically, it's about functions, procedures, etc. This actually I have discussed previously, functions and the procedures. So this I have discussed, but I'll revise the things if you cannot remember, just in case. I'll use the same. So for an example, okay, Function means you can define this. So the problem of the code is you have to run again and again here. If you want to change, if you want to get, let's say, around, just give me 1 minute, 1 second, right? Okay, I'm going to
Okay.
move on. And okay, in case that if you want to run this from 1 to, let's say, 20, you need 20 rows. You have to change the code, run the file again. Change the code, run the file again. Now it's executed, and you can then double click and see it will go from 1 to 20 this time. So 1 to 20. So if you need, likewise, when you need to change the code, what you have to do? You have to run the file again and again. So you change the code, run the file again. So that is headache, because it's not possible to all change the code and run the file. And so what happens if this is given to a user as a software, as a program? The user has to edit the code and run the file. That is not good, no? User has to edit the code and run the file. That is not good. But so hope you can remember in MS Word. So they have deployed the code for RAND equal RAND. So if I write 2.4, so it will generate 2 paragraphs each with 4 lines. If I write 2.5, so it will generate 2 paragraphs each with 5 lines. If I write 3.5 or 4.5, it will generate 4 paragraphs with 5 lines each. So now, do we need to change the code and run the file again, or user can input? Yes? Hello?
Will you repeat that, sir?
So do we need to, so this method in MS Word, do we need to edit the code and run the file again and again, or user can edit the code? User can give the parameters.
And edit the code.
You have to edit the code and run this. Is it in Word? If I want one paragraph, do I want to edit the code? Where I am editing?
No.
I'm just inputting that as a parameter. I'm going to put that as a parameter and run the function without any code editing. Can you see any code edit here? No, I'm not editing the code. I'm giving same function, but with different parameter values here, different parameter values. So then it will just give me the output. So that is done. This is user side. User expect this kind of thing. User expect a function which can be fed with parameters, and time to time user can change the parameters and run the function. But user cannot see the code, no. User will not see the code, no. User don't know what's happening in the back end.
Yeah.
But instead of that, in the front end, user's end, user change the code. So that's what happening. Understood? Okay. So if, right. If you want to do the same, right? If you want to do the same in Python, you can define this as a function. That is done by def. Def, let's say, create table is the function. You can say the start and end. Right? Then you can apply the same.
Hello?
Hello, can't you hear?
Hello, sir?
Hello. Okay, can you hear me? Right, can you hear me now? Hello? Hello? Right. If you want to run this as a function, you have to use def keyword, then give a function name, Then the starting position and ending position as the parameter. Right, I'm going to use the same starting position st here and same ending position en here, st and en. Right, I'm going to use same st and en. Okay, so if you use like this, what will happen? So let me run the file now. Now this file won't run, it will not create anything new, but you can run the function. Instead of the file, you can run the function create table. And you can give the starting position as well as ending position. Right, let's say starting is 1, ending is 10. Then it will create a file. Okay, this is now going 1 to 10. So let's change this. And now I don't want to run the file again and again. So once I deploy the code, so this is user's window. User can run the function by giving, let's say, 120. Enter. You can see it's changing 1 to 20. If user give 1 to 100, enter, it will go 1 to 100. Right. So likewise, now user can change the function parameters and get the result without editing the code. User don't know what's in the code, but user can enter the parameter. User can say 10 to, user can say 10, 100 to 120. And it will start running and it will print from, okay. So this is the power basically. 100 into 100 is this one, 101 into 101 is this one, 102 into 102 is this one. Likewise, it will display the power. Right? If you want to display the row number, so you can edit the code, but that is to change the behavior. And if you also want, you can give the file name fn here, and that will be inserted as file name here. Okay, let me see this one. Now 3 parameters. I can name the file. Okay, what's wrong? Okay, comma. I can name the file now. Okay, I can give it as create table 110 and the file name is, let's say, k.html. Enter. Now I can access that using k.html. This is the file now. You can see. I can give the file, okay, kj.html. Now k1.html. This is 1 to 100 this time. K1, the file name. Enter. I can access that file by using k1.html URL. That file is there. Okay, now that is more convenient because you can even give the file name. And you can create a table by just giving the file name. Now that's working as a soft tab. So if you want to create, okay, let's say if you want to create an empty table, you can add another one, empty, right? So let's say I'm going to use another if now. Okay, I'm going to use another if empty is true, if empty is true, okay, if empty is true, I'm going to create empty table with the same behavior. I'm going to do this one, else. This one can be entered, else. Likewise, you can further. So I know you can't write like this. But what I'm doing is what I'm doing. I'm enhancing the code one by one, step by step. That's why I asked you to watch the video and do these changes and see.
Right.
right? Otherwise, it's not possible. If you write down this one, next time you can't write the same. I know, because I'm also gradually changing this. And then again, this one. So if empty is true, I'm going to declare this rows. So let's say this is odd row, even row. Let's cut this, and I'm going to say odd row is this one. Sorry, that is even row, no? Even row. And you can say odd row. Odd row is this one. This is odd row. And empty row. Empty row. Okay, empty row is this one. No content inside that. It's empty. And non-breaking space. Only space is there. No content inside the table. That is empty row. And this is empty row even. Let's say E. Even. Or you can say empty row odd. Empty row odd. Now you have different row types. Empty row odd, and that is by changing the color. Okay, now you have different row types. If empty is equal to true, then write empty row even here. And likewise, I can make the logic complex. Else I have to write this one. Else I can say, if this is not even row, just normal even row and normal odd row. Now you have more nestings. Here you can have this number, row number, and I'm going to add this one too. Let's add this one. Also, okay, something like this. So let's run this. Now I can give whether I need an empty one or not. Okay, let's run this now. So likewise, logic you have to change, but the function is highly customizable. I can say create table, and I can give 1 or true. Then the scale.html will be empty. Yeah. Nothing is there. K.html will be empty. But if I give false, then you can see k.html with the cell number. K.html with the cell number. Here I have to make a dash. So I have to add a dash here. Sorry, that's my mistake. Run module. So now if I ask, okay, I need empty one, you can see the table is empty. If I ask, no, I need field one, false, and that will give you a field one with the row numbering, table numbering, right? But for user, it's very easy, no? User has nothing to do. User has to give the starting, ending, and further, what are the further things that you can do? You can customize number of rows and columns, right? You can customize. Okay, let's say customize table, or you can define another function like this. Not in the single function. You can say create custom table, create C table. That is customized table, and you can give the starting position. Okay, maybe you can give the number of rows. Let's say rows. You can give number of columns, and whether the empty property, rows and columns and the empty property. So can you tell me what to do now? And the file name, file name. Okay, if I have something like this, so how can I create that function? I have to do number of rows, number of columns. Now you have to think. Number of rows, number of columns, whether this is empty, and the file name. Rows. Yes. Anyway, this part is common, no? You have to anyway start. You have to anyway start the HTML file. That is common, ne? Hello?
Hello?
So can you hear me or you are not listening?
I can hear, sir.
Okay. So this part is common or different? This part is
Common.
I have to, yes, I had to open a file with given file name, and it is writable. And then you have this HTML part, and you have to write that to the file. That is common. You can say starting from 1, right? So then while. So what is inside while loop? Can you tell? While I less than or equal to
columns. I mean,
columns or rows?
empty rows.
Rows. That number of rows. You have to tell the number of rows. While I less than or equal to rows. Okay, then what you have to do? Now you can start the row. Right? Start the row means you can say f dot write table row. So now another challenge is there. What is the challenge? You have to you have to go for number of columns too. Then what should you do? Again, you have to start from 1, right? You can say column C equal 1. Then while C less than or equal to, yes. Row is started. After that, what you have column inside row in the table you have columns. Then the row එකක් ඇතුලේ මොනවද තියෙන්නේ මේ columns නේ. Columns ගාන කොහොමද? Columns ගාන මේ දෙන ගානනේ. Columns number of columns equal to the columns given here. Number of columns equal to the columns given here. Okay, how to give that? Number of columns equal to columns given here. C less than or equal to, you can say what? If you need 5 columns, how many columns you need? That's 5.
5.
So then what you have to give? Columns here.
Column.
Then what to do? F dot write. You have to tell me now. I'm going to write your code. F dot write. Now you have opened the table row. Inside that you have. Inside the row, what you have?
The cell.
Table. Inside table row, what do you have here also? Inside table row, what did you have? Table. Can you remember the HTML or can't remember?
I can a bit.
Okay, in a table, inside table, what do you have? Table row. Inside table row, what do you have? What do you are going to include? That is not magic, no. The last one also we did that, no. Inside table, you have rows. Inside rows, what do you have? What these items are called? A single, let's say a single item. What is this? Single cell. How cells are defined in HTML?
TD.
Yes, that's what I'm asking. TD. Then you can mention the number of the table data number. You can say the str. Then you can mention the row number. Row number can be taken using I. And you have to add dash to this. And how to take the column number? str. What is the column number? I is row number. Column or C? Columns means total columns.
C.
So please understand, right? If you cannot understand, no point writing the code and checking that. That is just for check my accuracy, right? whether my code is correct. But try to understand. You have to mention I. I is the row number, row iterator, and C is the column. You can start from like this. Okay, if you want meaningful one, let's start with R, then R here, then R is the row iterator, and C is the column iterator. Okay, after the column, what you have to do? TD open, then write the content, row number and column number, then you have to close the column, TD close. Okay, then how to increase the column number? C equal C plus. You have to go one by one. Then after finishing the column, what you have to do? Row started, written the column. After the column, what you have to do? Finish the හිතලා බලන්න මේක ඇතුලේ මොකක්ද වෙන්නේ? TR ඇතුලේ TD පටන් ගන්නවා. TD ඉවර වෙනවා. TD අපි හිතමු columns 10ක් ඉල්ලලා කියලා columns 10ම ඉවර වෙනවා. ඉවර වුණාට පස්සේ මොකද කරන්න ඕන? You have to tell that row is finished. How to tell that row is finished? F dot write what? F dot write what? Open the row, sorry, open the column is finished. Open in tag and close in tag. Open the row. After writing all the columns, what did you do? So I think you have not understood what I have.
Slash TR.
You have to close the table row. Okay, so I think you have not understood what I have here. TR open, TD open, TD close, then the second TD open, second TD close, then the TR close. So I have not included the new lines and all, but you can, if you want, you can include the new line and tab and tab and tab.
Yeah.
Right. So this is to open the TR, and here also you can mention that. Here also you can mention new line, tab, 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 4 tabs just to align, because number of tabs are increasing. Here for body section, 1 tab for body, 2 tabs for table. Inside table you have rows, then 3 tabs for row, 4 tabs for columns. Right. Okay, then again 3 tabs for row closing. After closing the row, what you have to do? Now you increase the column counter and finish printing columns. You have start printing rows and finish printing row. Now what you have to do?
Okay.
You have to increase the row counter, no? Otherwise, what will happen? While loop will not end, right? So after, okay, then this row, after row count is all over, this is also over. Then what you can do is you have to print the this code in. That means the closing code. Write the table closing and the HTML closing. That is the second function. Now you should be able to think and do this, right? Otherwise, you are in trouble. So now the second one, create table. Sorry, create C table. That is the second function. In create C table, you can give here number of rows. I need, let's say I need 5 rows or 6 rows. Number of columns, I need 7 columns for each. So let's say 9 columns. Empty property, I can give true or false because I have not checked that here. Empty property, mama check kare na.
Yeah.
Then FN. FN means the file name. Let's file name, let's say t1.html. Okay, let's run the code and done. Now I can check t1.html, t1.html, and here you can see the one that I have created. So check with the correct order. First row, first column, first row, second column. Okay, first row, 9th. You have 9 columns. Yes, 9 columns. 6 rows. 6 rows, 9 columns. Okay.
Yeah.
But I have not implemented the empty property. If you need empty property, what will happen? Okay, I'll use another code. If empty equal, or if empty, simply if empty. If empty, I'll have another text like this. I'll make something like this. Inner text is equal to blank. If empty, I'll play inner text is blank. If empty, inner text is blank. Okay, here, so what I'm going to do here, I'm going to make inner text and add these two. For the inner text, I'm going to add this. Inner text is this. So then, in the single loop, I can say, I can just add inner text is blank. Otherwise inner text is this. I'll add inner text.
Sir, yeah, if empty has two M's.
Then I'm going to include inner text. Okay. If here, if empty, inner text is blank. And if empty, inner text is blank. But if you come inside this, then inner text is, so you can say inner text is this one. Right. So again, here you can mention this, right? Rather than just write like this. You just come here. If empty, inner text is blank. Else you can say inner text is this one. Right? Then you are going to mention inner text here. Inner text will be depend on the empty property. If empty is equal true, there will be blank inner text. If not, there will be row number and column number. Understood?
Yes, sir.
Okay, then save this. So let's run this. And after running, let's create this one. Now if you go to T1, it's a blank one, but it looks ugly. Let's use an NBSP. An NBSP means non-breaking space, right? Just space. So then just run this. Let's create the table. Now it has space and you can see like this. Okay, how to run the file, save, run the file. Okay, after running, I can implement this one. Okay, then go to this one and refresh. Still this one, okay. And NBSP, wait, what has happened? And NBSP. Oh, sorry. I have to mention that here. And NBSP. Then run the file. Now I have two functions in this. I have two functions. The first function is, okay, then I can create something like this. That is empty table. You can give column width, row width, all these things, right? Column width, row width, because I have manually entered that width, but you can just give the column width, row width. So if you need a large table, if you need very large table, you can run the code. So what if you need a very large table like this? You can run the code and you can see I need, let's say I need 1,000 rows and with each with 90 columns. It's just single 1 minute, 1 second code, and you can see very large one.
Oh.
It's just 1 second code. You can see it's created.
Oh.
Right?
Yeah.
So because now if you are going to write this HTML, what will happen? You will end up with So if you are going to write 1000 rows, 90, that's not easy. Right? If it is 190, you can reduce the size to 190 and run the code and it will create. So anyway, so likewise 160, likewise you can create this for any type of, and if you don't need the empty one, you can start numbering. You can make this false and it will start numbering. Let's say 30%. Here you can see it will start numbering. $130.
Yeah.
So, or if you make
Yeah.
true, it will not start numbering. And the width and height also you can give. And width and height also you can give. You can control that. So by adding another property, you have to try those. How to change width, how to change the border using function. So that is your practice. Practice. And both functions are running, right? Because I have two functions. You can run both functions. If I want, I can run the other one. That create table. This is create C table. No, I can run the create table, just normal function create table, and I can give the starting value and ending value, and then I can give. But there you can't give the number of columns. I can give t1.html and then true. So that will read this t1. So the first style, that is first style. 1 to 40, t1 true, and if it is false, you can say it with numbering. Right? You have both functions. Both functions you can run.
Yeah.
Okay, shall we try the second function too? But you have to change this, right? Don't just rely or don't just depend on my code, because it will not be there in the examination. I did a lot now,
Yeah.
but it won't be there in the examination, right? So
Mm-hmm.
the concept will be there in the examination. While inside if inside if, else in if inside else, while then if inside that. Those are the concepts, and def and the number of parameters. Those are the concepts. You have to practice the concept, not the code. To practice the concept, you have to
Yeah.
change the concept, change the value, change the code, and see. Okay, now we can start writing, but let me show the book content itself. So this is a function. Def keyword is for function, and code example is given here also. So this is to print the odd numbers. Very simple example. And then with a return value. So without printing, how to return value. So that is basically, I'll apply that one also. I'll show that. And pass in parameters. So here the first value, second value, we learned that as well. So that's why I said I have completed big part. And pass in parameters by value. Here. That can also be done. We learned that. And return two symbols, two parameters. So that will also, returning part we'll discuss. Put in all together, okay, with the returning, few functions in one, that is also there. And yes, with that the lesson is done. So what I have to do is the returning functions. I'll do the returning functions after you complete this. That's why I said that is not a big lesson. We have already done this, but this is the second time we are practicing that. Please finish this.
All right.
Please finish writing the second function quickly. Let's do the parameters then. The parameters and the small concept called recursion, but it is not there in your book this chapter, but in future chapter I saw that the recursion is there. Therefore, I'm going to do the returning function with the parameters. So basically in a normal function, so what you can experience, this is, let me save this as example 0, 0, 10. Sorry. 11 and 12. Okay. So basically, this in functions, you can see after the function, there will be a process happen. So when you run this function, as a result, you will get the process. But if you want a function which will run and save the result or keep the result for you, that is called return in function. So this will not keep the result. This will directly do something. For an example, if you ask to shut down machine, it will shut down the machine. No, isn't that? So if you ask computer to shut down the machine, it will shut down the machine. That's all. Right?
Yeah.
But so it will not save the answer for you. So, but there's another function, the returning function. The difference of returning function is if you define a returning function, let's say say add nums. I'm giving n1 and n2, two numbers, and I'm going to return n1 plus n2. So this is a returning function, very simple. 2 lines returning function. Let's say this has 13. And now you can see when I run this, so nothing happens similar to that, but add nums. Again, let's say 12 and 45. So it will give the answer. It will give the answer. You can save this answer. You can say x equal add nums, this one. Sorry, x equal add nums. Then inside x, you can see the answer. So if you say x equal add nums, then inside x, there's the answer. You can later take the answer out. You can keep the answer as a return value, and later you can take the answer when you really need. Understood the concept? It will not
Yes,
do,
sir.
yeah, it will not do and return the answer as soon as possible. It will not do the function and do something. It is just to do and keep the answer. That answer can be used later. For an example, let's say another one, factorial. Def factorial. Okay, factorial of number, any number. So you can keep the answer, factorial of number can be taken. So you can start from 1. Okay, if you can say, or you can say while n equal 1, while or 4, or you can directly say 4 in range 1 to the given factorial 1 to n. There's a answer ans. So initially that is 0. You can say ans equal ans into the number. So this should be basically n plus 1. Ans equal to ans into plus number, and you can later return the answer. Return answer. You know the factorial of a number is created using how? Okay, let's see. What's wrong with this? Run. Oh. Return the answer. Return R. Run audio. Okay, let's show the answer. I'm saying okay, x equal factorial 5, and you can say print x. Oh, 0. Why? Answer is 0. You have to make answer is 1. So 0 multiplied by any number is 0. Sorry, my mistake. And you can say x equal factorial 5, and then you can ask print x. It's 1 now. Answer equal answer into n. And again my logic error. So let's say take the factorial and print factorial. It's 120. If you print, okay, if you directly print, factorial 4, it is 24. What is factorial? Factorial?
It'll be, if it's 5, it'll be 1 into 2 into 3 into
Yeah,
4 into 5.
factorial 4. Yes, factorial 4 equal to 4 into 3 into 2 into 1. What is 4 into 3? 4 into 3 is 12, into 2 is 24, is 2 into 1 is 24. Factorial 5 means you can say 5 into 4 into 3 into 2 into 1. So 1 into 2 is, yes, 1 into 2 is 2 into 3 is 6, into 4 is 24, into 5 is 120. Okay, this is how the factorial is calculated. This is using a loop. But if you're not using a loop, you can use a function inside function. Function inside function. The second method, let's say factorial recursion, the same factorial r n. You can tell if n equal 1, then you can say if n equal 1, return 1, because factorial 1 is 1, else you can say return n into factorial n minus 1. That means it will generate, then if it is 4, 4 into factorial 3. I think we discussed this last day. What will happen in the second function? So let me comment and write. So if someone write factorial r 4, what will happen? It will break down this to factorial r 4 into 4 multiplied by factorial r 3, because here n minus 1 means 3. So this 3 will be broken down into, yes, 3 can be written as, yes, you have to tell me, come on.
As in the factorial way?
Yeah. So 3, so how you apply 3? If you apply 3 for this n, what will happen? This 3 will become, 3 will become 3 into
2 into 1.
Yes, factorial r2. So please apply for this function, 3 into 2 into 1, that is previous one. So that is previous one, 1 into 2 into 3. But this is a different function. 2 into factorial r2. Then it will be again break down. It will again, the factorial 2 will be broken down. So it can be written as 2 into factorial r1. Now, what is factorial r1? So it is directly given, it's 1. So you will get 3 into 2 into 4 into 1. But not like this. This is recursion. That means same function will applied again and again and again. Same function will be applied first time, second time, third time, and fourth time. And that's how you get the answer. This is called recursion. Recursion means inside the function, you call the same function. Understood?
Yes, sir.
So that is not there in this lesson, right? That is not there in this lesson. But anyway, that's very important to learn that. So this one is easy, no? This one is easy, loops. Because answer equal, answer into 1, then into 2, into 3, in the same into 4, same into 5, like it will. So what is happening here? Here you can easily tell what's going to happen. Let me comment. So the first one, answer is 1. Answer equal 1 into, if it is given as 4, if it is given as factorial 4, how first one find the answer is basically factorial 4 will be broken down into ans equal 4 into, sorry, ans equal, ans is 1, so 1 into n is 1. into 1. The second time, that into that answer to into 2. Third time, that answer into 3. Fourth, next time, the particular answer into 3, and the next fourth time, that answer will be multiplied by 4. And ultimately, you will get 1 into 2 into 3 into 4. That's how answer is created in the first loop. That is one time. One time means, but anyway, you have to repeat. But with the repetition, this is what applied. Or you can write like this. So the first round answer is 1. Let's write down the round wise. First round answer is 1 into 1. Second round answer is NS is 1 into 2. The third round, the answer will be 2 into 3. Fourth round, the answer will be 2 into 3 is 6. 6 into 4. Okay. First round, 1 into 1 is 1. That into 2 is 2. 2 into 3 is 6. 6 into 4 is 24. That's how answer found in the loop. This is how answer found in the recursion, which is equal to 24. Same thing. Understood both methods, loops and recursion?
Yes, sir.
So recursion is basically short, but loops are kind of lengthy, but recursion is expensive. Okay, so let's write the code. Let's run the code and see. This is factorial 4. This is factorial R4. Both will give the same answer. If you ask factorial 5, and if I ask factorial R5, same answer. Okay, shall we quickly write down this?
Right. Okay, sir.